battle the Lord of Trolls.
Yo, what is up? It's Mini TV coming at you once again with another video. There's been some lot of data going on this week, the last couple of weeks right now with the majors, the minor qualifiers, Nigma are out, Liquid are out, nothing they can do in this DPC stage. What a shame, what a shame. But good news is there's been a carry hero that's been popping off in the last few competitive matches, and I've been playing it a lot recently, and I have to say, this hero, Troll Warlord, is insane. Fantastic laning stage, fantastic roast potential, fantastic taking towers, great carry potential. If you want to be winning your pubs as playing carry, you have to learn this hero. I've been playing it myself, and you see this sea of green, win, practice mode, win. Like, this is all Troll Warlord. The hero is crazy. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, this is the game, and thank goodness I haven't blocked the minimap, so enjoy. So, this is the game. Just talking about sort of Troll Warlord in general in terms of the drafting stage. Right now, like, I'm picking it like first or second because the hero is so strong that it can lane with basically anyone. I mean, in this game, I'm laning with a Nyx Assassin as position 5, which isn't really the strongest of laners, but you'll see in this game and in this lane, I'm dominating it whether he's there or not, kind of thing. Like, I can dominate this lane 1v2 because of just the strength of the hero. Not only that as well, but I'm picking Troll Warlord into Slardar because I think it's one of the best heroes and best carry heroes to play against Slardar. Right now, I think Slardar is kind of wrecking pubs all across the brackets because it destroys most carries, but Troll Warlord is kind of the exception here. So it's really, really strong because he has the range ability and he can secure CS with Whirling Axis, which we'll see here. So something to really keep in mind, picking Troll Warlord, really strong counter against Slardar. Lifestealer, you're quite good against him because you single target. I mean, he can cause a bit of problems because he has high evasion, obviously with his talent, and then he normally goes Heaven's Hellbird. But I think still Troll Warlord is fine playing into Lifestealer. But yeah, into Slardar, definitely would recommend picking it. So as for item builds here, so I kind of experimented with quite a few things. So started off, like, I was picking up the regular items, Quelling Blade, 2 Tangos, a Salve, and 3 branches. But after a while, you realise that actually you play a lot of the lane in your ranged form, so that the Quelling Blade doesn't actually give you that much benefit if you're playing ranged form. It's what, 5 for range. It's not worth the 150 gold. I will be picking up a Quelling Blade, but it'll be later. And then I went around with looking at some Mail's build where he went 2 Tangos, a Fairy Fire, Circlet, Slippers of Agility, and 1 Branch, which was quite nice. But then I was watching Arteezy play actually, and I think this is the best build because of how much mana intensive you are in the laning stage, because you're using your Whirling Axes for CS and kind of harassment. And as you see, I'm kind of queuing up Tangos and Salve as well. So even though I've got kind of only one set of Tangos, it looks kind of weak. But obviously with the personal couriers now, like, just using it for region is really, really important. And like, gives three stats, and I think it's just a really nice build, and particularly because I'm laning with someone that's going to be using their mana as well, which is the Nyx. So so sort of to start off though, like before the laning stage, I'm always trying to get in a bit of an advantage if I can. Just before the lane goes, because I'm so strong and I have the range and the slow from the Whirling Axis. Like 75 damage as well is really, really good, and it has a low cooldown. So if I can ever get like an advantage in the lane, maybe make them use a Salve or you know, some of their Tangos, can be really, really useful. The pause kind of screwed me up here a little bit. I kind of went too close into the Slardar, so he's going to get a stun off mid. Didn't really see him there, and Nyx wasn't really in position either. But this is still the right play. I'm going to take a bit of damage here, but like I said, I'll have regen coming out. So, but you'll see, I'm kind of like manning up, or whenever I get the chance to kind of put in a right click, I'll definitely do it. Wyvern's already used his Q now, so I'm manning up because Nyx is coming. Slider walking up to the high ground. It's going to take a lot of damage. I'm going to just try and chase him as much as possible. And you'll see I'll actually miss 1 or 2 last hits, but this is so much more important than getting the first 1 or 2 waves, because look how much harassment I'm getting onto him. Value there because I've got the whirling range whirling axes on both of them. So I missed 1 or 2. I missed 1 CS, and I'm forced to sail from the Slider, so even that is just very useful. He only has 2 tangos now as well. So as for kind of the idea of how to play this laning stage, what I try and do is I try and, whenever I can, and whenever I need to, use the range whirling axes to secure a last hit as well as harass them, because it really does add up. And obviously, whenever I can, get right clicks into him. And you'll see kind of the presence in this lane. Slider can never really get close to me to land his bashes or his stuns. And when he does try and get close, I can switch to Berserker's Rage and make the whirling axes, which is the mischance and stuff. But yeah, always just trying to keep the pressure onto him, and obviously, but not missing any CS as well. But yeah, whirling axes again whenever I can get a CS and to harass. And obviously with the Ring of Bassi, it kind of allows me to do a lot of kind of pressure, and already I'm 9-0, and I've done so much harassment as well. And this is just, I think that's probably one of the strongest things about Troll Warlord, is that his laning stage is that good. Again, they can't deny because I have 75. Obviously creeps have 0 magic resist as well, so it's a pure 75 damage, and there's no way that a Wyvern 42 or Slider 56 can ever deny me. Again, look, I mean, like, he's already blown his salve. He had two sets of tangos and a salve, and already he's kind of out of region. And as you can see, Wyvern can't do anything to me. Nick is off doing his own thing, and I'm kind of zoning these two out. I get a bit aggressive here, really kind of walk up, and this kind of pays, and I end up dying here. But I just want to talk about my level 2. So funny enough, in this scenario, if I went for Berserker's Rage, I would have actually survived it because I could have been able to get the whirling axis. But this is something that I've seen Artesia and Samal do every game, and I really, really like it. It's just in this instance it does kill me, but that's because of my bad positioning and not because the build is wrong. So as you see, I'm going to die, but the fervor is such a nice thing, because like I said, most of this lane for the first 5 minutes or so, you are laning as ranged. So you don't really need the Berserker's Rage. I'm going to get it at level 3, but for the first level or so, the fervor is so nice because it gives me more attack speed, and I'm able to carry on attacking them and kind of getting in the hits kind of thing. So that is kind of a bit of a misplay by me, but I'm still doing well. I've got double CS, and I'm now back with full HP, full mana, and I've picked up boots as well. Really important I pick up boots here because it allows me to get away from the Slider. Again, now I'm level 3, I've got 1 point in Berserker's Rage. I can switch in between to do the melee or the range whirling axes, and in this case Slider comes up too close and he pays for it with his life. And that's just kind of the benefit of having 2. I mean, in some ways I have, and we kill Wyvern as well, I have kind of crazy kind of bursts with ranged axes and melee axes. It's 75 and 50 for 1 point of skill, which is crazy. 125 damage for a 1 point skill is mad. So just making sure that you're switching in between range and melee whenever you need to, and kind of getting as much value as you can when you can out of it. And as you see here, I'm top CS, and I've got 2 kills now as well, so I'll be top net worth. So yeah, and this lane is gonna get easier and easier the higher level I get, because I'll be getting just stronger, and Slider and Wyvern are both still level 2. And Nick's level 3 now as well, so we're really, really strong. Again, Wyvern comes up too much really and just pays over his life. At level 4 I go a second point in whirling axes, just because it doubles the damage on whirling axes on the melee form, so it's kind of really good value. But you'll see at level 5 I go for Berserker's Rage level 2, because again it's all about the kind of the early value, and the bonus move speed I get is doubled, so from 10 to 20, and the whirling axe is only on at 50, so it's like 50% instead of 100% from 1 to 2. But right now, we're kind of dominating the lane, so I don't really need to try to do anything too crazy. I kind of get a little bit baited by these chrono creeps here, and I missed like 2 or 3 CS. But I think these are more important anyway. It gives me more value for last hits. But yeah, so right now, as long as we kind of keep the lane back, like we can kind of do this as much as we want. Kind of pressure a stun here, try and dodge the Slardar stun, but I'm too close and get hit by it. So in terms of other early items, is like obviously even though I have Ring of Bassi, it's really important to like keep buying mangoes, keep buying regen whenever I need to, because it just kind of secures my strength in the lane. Obviously, I brought out a mango and I'm bringing out a magic wand as well. So in this build, because I started with Ring of Bassi, I'm not gonna buy 2 Wraith Bands. It's only gonna be 1, because you know, I'm going to be having Wraith Band, Magic Wand, and Ring of Bassi, and you only kind of want 3 kind of filler items, because otherwise you end up kind of replacing them too early. You don't get a lot of value out of them. Obviously, against Slardar comes up, I switch to Berserker's Rage, the melee form, because it gives me 6 bonus armor for 1 point, which is absolutely absurd. Like doubles my armor basically, which is really, really crazy, particularly in this early laning stage. And obviously, if he does come up, I can use the mischance from Warning Axes as well. And you can see, like, you know, Slardar's not farming in this lane at all. He's 16 and 3. He can't come up to the creep wave. And if he does try and pull, I'm just going to hit him. And again, do this Warning Axes. He sluns, but then he can't get his bash off. And he feels really, really threatened. He's having to buy a lot of salves and a lot of regen. So he only has boots and a magic wand. Whereas, you know, I have basically my treads. And, you know, I've got a lot of build-up items as well. And I'm really, really strong. And obviously, whenever Nyx is in position to land a stun, like we again do so much pressure and so much harassment, we really threaten a kill. So pretty much like kind of standard in the lane, like going forward. Again, like the pressure from Wyvern is a little bit annoying, but that's why I have salve. And as long as we kind of do well in this lane, Slardar's effectiveness really is kind of reduced, and that's why I like Troll Warlord so much against Slardar, because Slardar really relies his game on having a good laning phase, because he doesn't have any kind of farming mechanics to kind of get him back into the game. So if you can crush him in the laning stage, which is rare, but you can do really, really well. I use the Centaur ulti to kind of as an initiation to get onto the Wyvern, and because I'm actually maxing my Berserker's Rage now, the ensnare chance is actually quite high, and it's quite long as well. And the reason I do this is because, like I said, you don't really want to be maxing your Whirling Axes any more than you need to past level 2. Until you've maxed out obviously your other spells. We leave further at level 1 because its value is kind of low. Only 5 attack speed per stack, and you're not really getting many stacks on whether you're an enemy or a neutral before you switch targets. So it's not as value as maxing the other 2. I get a point in my ulti at 7 instead of 6 because I wasn't really threatened by them when I had Nyx with me, but now Nyx is gone. I obviously need it. So also you saw that, so Slardar died, like this is a kind of a small thing as well, but I think it's important to mention. So Slardar I think went mid because obviously we're crushing this lane really hard. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually kind of keeping the lane as far back as possible, so that when if he comes and TP's down bot, he will feel threatened and he'll be able to get harassed and kind of pressured because the lane is in my favour. However, when I see him TP mid, I immediately go and try and push out the wave because I want to punish him from not being there. So immediately I try and push out the wave. Also, the bounty runes are coming up as well, so I want to push out the wave. I see him actually on the ward trying to cut up here, so I try and pressure him. I'm level 7, he's level 5, like there's nothing you can do. He comes in here, I do Whirling Axes, and I can secure the bounty rune for myself. Simple as that. So right now, I kind of have all the starting items I really need, and we've won the laning stage. Nyx is happy to leave the lane, and I can easily solo the Slardar. I'm 3 levels above him, and even if we were same level, I'd be able to kind of box him out because of the spells I have really. He comes in close, I'm melee ranged, I'm melee Whirling Axes, and then again he feels threatened. He has half HP, no like mango, like no salve. Just really trying to pressure him as long as I'm getting the CS as well. And as I see, there's massive stuff going on over there in the corner. Like I can kind of pressure this Slardar, and really dive him if I feel need to, because I know that my team is kind of keeping the other team occupied, so they're not going to TP down to me. So in terms of like items I'm going to go for, like I think Battle Fury is really nice this patch. It has been buffed obviously, the damage is more, the cleave is higher as well, and it kind of synergizes quite nicely with Troll's ulti actually, the increased cleave. as I'm trying to keep the catapult alive while my creep wave's going. Because once I use ulti and I like kind of stick onto someone, if I end up like rooting them or you know, bashing them, if I end up going basher, more often than not I'm cleaving onto someone behind them, so the extra cleave damage is really, really nice and it works quite well. And obviously I've had a really good game this game as well, so I'm able to go Battle Fury without feeling the need to kind of participate too much. My team's doing well, we're 2k up. I'm ulting here to get my health back. I'm not really going to be using it elsewhere, so it's kind of a good place to use it. But there's other items that you can go, particularly if you haven't the greatest lane stage or you need to be participating to help your team out. I think Diffusal Blade is really, really nice because the amount of attack speed you have is really, really useful to benefit from the mana burn, and also it allows you to kind of continually sit on top of someone with the purge plus the whirling axes on the range form. Like they'll never be able to leave you. So for talents, 10 agility is kind of the standard. 250 health is nice, but the 10 agility is just kind of too much value in terms of farming, and it helps you out, you know, with more damage as well. And you don't really particularly need the HP. So this port here is something I want to talk about because if you'll see any pro players, like they are so consistent with their TPs and they know exactly what to do with it. So like, I was happy to kind of, I've always talked about in my previous videos how important it is to have the carry sit in the off lane, you know, soak up the safer part of the map, kind of pressure over there, and it sort of splits the enemy team's objectives of whether they want to kill you or take your tier 1 tower. But in this game, the tier 1 tower is up because our Centaur didn't have the greatest lane stage, and I've crushed this lane so hard that I've taken the tier 1 tower in my safe lane, which is kind of rare. Normally carries aren't able to do that, but in this game I did, so I'm able to kind of push out the wave and take these two camps and even the Ancients if they're not Prowlers, but they are. I didn't know they were Prowlers. But once I see Slider TP down bottom and I see Snapfire over here as well, in a moment, I can just TP top knowing that with the Wyvern TP as well, I can TP up here and take this tower uncontested, which is kind of the part of the map I want to play, but I wasn't really able to just TP up here unless I get a full ally rotation as well. It would kind of be hard to take it. So we end up going here, I end up taking it, and with this tower, I'm also in a good position to build my Battle Fury as well. Because I'm on the right side of the map, so my courier can bring it to me quite safely. So right now, like, I'm not looking to take a team fight. I mean, if a team fight is available, maybe they dive my OD mid, or if they try and gank me, I'm happy to fight. Troll is a really strong carry right now, as I'm looking for someone to fight to farm. Because I'm kind of close to my Battle Fury, but I'm also in position to take a team fight if something happens, and something does, I turn around, try and help out killing the Magnus, and then I'm probably just going to back off because this team fight's looking kind of bad. Switch to melee form, obviously, because it gives me the bonus movement speed as well. Something really important that you try and edge as much out as you can. We catch the OD, but when I see that Snapfire, yeah, I don't want to die really. Pop myself in the meantime. He kills the Slider, but he ends up getting stopped by the Snapfire cookie, so I'm just back to farming. I've got my Battle Fury now, I'm ready to kind of accelerate my farm. But like I said, so just an example there, like if a team fight presents itself, I'm more than happy to fight, but I'm not really going out of my way to find it. In that case, there was no other camps for me to farm. The lane was pushed in, all the camps were farmed, and there was a team fight going next to me, so I joined it. But you know, right now I'm not looking to say, oh, let's go smoke, let's go fight, because I've just got my Battle Fury. Battle Fury is more of a farming item than a fighting item, and I also want my S and Y, because it kind of gives me a lot of security. The self-heal amplification works really well with my battle trance, and the status resistance is really nice as well. And in this game I don't even go for BKB because S and Y into Satanic is such a nice combo that you don't really need BKB. So again, I'm kind of playing the more aggressive part of the map. I have a tier 1 tower next to me as well, so if someone ends up diving me, I can turn it around, and that's the nice kind of thing about trance. And you'll see this here. I pressure the life stealer, I get RP'd, but the turnaround potential of battle trance with TPs coming in is, look at this right here. End up killing both their mid and their carry, and just like that, their presence in this game is already kind of ruined, and that's just the strength of Battle Trance. Obviously, the S and Y helps that as well because the Magnus RP lasts less because I have the whatever it's called, the status resistance, and the Battle Trance 6.5-second duration. That's far longer than a TP rotation in from one of my allies to help me, and with that we get a tier 2 tower. And that's just kind of me playing the right part of the map and my team responding to their gank. So really nice from both parts. So obviously OD TB down top, and we're taking the tower. So there's no kind of objective for me personally as a carry to carry on in this top lane. My team's over here as well. So I'm going to TB down to the other part of the map and then push out this wave so then we can kind of pen them into the base so they don't have an out. So really important that you kind of coordinate with your team as well. Obviously, if someone's TP'd top to you, maybe you should TP down bot. And playing as a carry in this patch, you always really want to be playing away from your team. Obviously, if opportunities present themselves, obviously go and take a fight. You can TP to the engagements, but you're not looking to fight with them. And with Battle Fury, you just want to be playing by yourself, but not just AFK farming creeps. As you saw, I took out 2 waves before I went to the jungle. So then it kind of gives a bit more, alleviates a bit of pressure. So there's a fight going on mid. I'm kind of nearby. I can walk towards it. There's a camp here for me as well. So if something happens, I'm in the neighborhood to fight if we need to. And this here, like I just pop up the ulti because I want to kind of get a quick kill on the lifestealer. I was in ranged form as well, so I don't commit too much. With that, with kill on the lifestealer, we can take the tower kind of uncontested. I'm kind of low. Luckily, the Snapfire ulti doesn't reach that far, and I'm kind of out. I don't want to fight that. I'm like not even interested in it. So I've got low. Like I could go back to base, but I have Battle Fury, I have decent regen coming up, and so I might as well just ferry a south to me and carry on the pressure on the map. I'm able to get bounty runes, whereas if I went back to base, it would maybe be a bit more safer, but they have no tower here, so I'm not feeling threatened, and I can kind of carry on the acceleration of my farm and the south here as well. Enables me to just get back to the keeping pressure on the map. So I've got my SMY now. So now I kind of have the strength I feel to be useful in the team fights. For now, I can get more aggressive, more my iron build. And Basher is such a good iron build as I block this camp because I am a noob. But yeah, this is a really nice trick as well. You can obviously take the shrines from the low ground if you cut this tree here, and Battle Fury allows you to do that because you have a Quilling Blade on you. Yeah, so Basher on Troll is such a nice item because particularly in games like this where they're going to be building BKBs. Magnus already has his BKB, Lifester has his own BKB through Rage. The Basher allows me to stick on targets even if they are not ensnared, and you'll see in this game here that it's really nice. So I'm just running over here, like I'm in, like they've all pushed down bot. There's nothing else for me to farm, so I can kind of just position myself in a position to force them either back or we can take a team fight. Because I'm feeling really strong right now. I have my SMY, I have Battle Fury, I have Basher coming in the next maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and you know, if my team's sitting behind me, I can hit towers, and they don't have a really way of getting engaging because Magnus doesn't have a blink. And if Slardar, does blink on me, I have an OD to save me and stuff. So, but they're going on mid, so I can pressure down bot. But the fortification comes out, so I end up TPing kind of away from the fight and away from bot and trying to join the fight. It's a decent RP from the Magnus, but I end up coming in a little bit late, and OD ends up dying, and we just do not want to be taking a team fight like that, really. Again, going on melee form, and with OD dead, we don't want to commit too much. But Senzo goes in, and I kind of follow him. But I obviously with the S and Y, my stun duration is less than his stun duration, so I end up ulting onto the lifestealer. I have Vlads as well from the Nyx assassin, and with the S and Y, I can man up and get so much health regen back, and that's just kind of the strength of my hero. I mean, they have Spirit Vessel, but in the end, it's not enough, and that's kind of it's something that really it's a small thing, but it really does make a difference. That when you have Troll Warlord, having someone on your team to build a Vlad's, probably in this game you'd probably want the Vlad's to be built by Centaur, but Nyx has it, and it's very, very good. Because I will be going obviously lifesteal eventually, and if you can pick up a Paladin Sword or a Vampire Fangs, really, really useful items as well, because it all amps the kind of lifesteal that you can man up against anyone. And no one can beat you, and if no one can man up against you, it's very difficult for them to kill you. So Magnus is dead, RP's been used as well, so the call just goes straight to Roche. I have Basher as well, which helps with taking down Roche, and with lads, any bit of lifesteal, I can just solo Roche, and this is the strength of Troll Warlord. All the kind of the objectives in the game of Dota can be kind of fulfilled with Troll Warlord. Roche, Troll is fantastic against Roche. Going high ground, great for for Troll Warlord. Good in the laning stage, so you get the items you need to accelerate. And obviously you can man up in the team fights as well. Like no one can really man fight you, and they don't have the spell damage to kind of kite me or to kill me from overside. So we see where they are, we just run into them. I have Aegis. I mean, Centaur's not with me and neither is Silencer, so it's a little bit risky, but with Aegis I kind of feel strong enough. I mean, Silencer and Centaur should be with us. We have Aegis, they should just be following the Aegis carrier, but luckily we kill the Snapfire before anything happens. I instantly ulti onto the lifesteal, and you can see the damage that I do onto him. I don't end up killing him here, which is a bit of a shame, and you're seeing the Heaven's Hellbird as well affecting me a little bit. But as I'm manning up, and you see the Battle Fury cleave as well, like they're struggling to kill me with obviously the mischance as well. It takes them a long time to kind of kill me, and in the meantime obviously Silencer comes over, and even though they're late, I was able to kind of get him, and luckily that last hit got him because I missed twice on my attack, and that's kind of a little bit of annoyance with lifesteal. The Heaven's Hellbird is a bit annoying, but luckily for going things like S and Y and Satanic will reduce that as well. BKB won't purge it as long as they get it before I pop BKB. So going this item build I think is a lot better than BKB. There's a lot of things that go through it. Obviously the Slardar ramp, the Magnus stun, even Wyvern if he ultis me, for example. So going just kind of the status resistance, 20% status resistance from S and Y, 20% I think, what is it from center today, 30% as well. So 50% status resistance, is so much on a hero that just wants to be hitting people. ITB down bot because we catch the Slardar. I've pushed out top as well, so I'm able to kind of just look for fights whenever possible. I didn't actually see the Snapfire there. So we would have caught him if I knew he was there. But I think they catch the Wyvern here as well, and I think we even catch a Sapphire because we see him in this wall actually. I think they start pinging him. But I'm focused on pushing the wave because I know that Slardar dead and Wyvern dead, we can take this tower, but we need to keep the lanes pushed in. So it's really important that you don't just run around for kills, really, because it can delay what you want to be doing in terms of pushing the objectives. It's good that they get these kills, and in this case they don't even need me for these kills because they had 2 dead, so it would have been 4v3. So they would have been fine, but it's just really important that you have lanes pushed out, because if lanes are pushed out and then you win team fights, then you can take objectives. But if lanes are pushed in and you get kills, the kills don't really mean that much. So it's really important that you kind of focus on kills here. So Magnus makes a massive misplay here. He comes man up against me even though I'm on the tower, but I just ult him and bash him to death, and he can't even escape. So just kind of a misplay from him, but again it just shows the strength of this hero. Like when you get Basher, anyone who comes close to you, they will just die. So if we force a Magnus buyback, and when I've talked about it in my previous videos as well, is that if someone buys back, particularly a big core like their mid, just respect it. Like you weren't really looking to go high ground when they were 5 up. So even though they've pulled back, just don't give them an opportunity to get back into the game. And by fighting into high ground without Aegis is definitely one opportunity for them to. But after the pick on Slardar, it's 5 versus 4, so we feel a little bit more confident, but still respecting the buyback when it happens. And I think there's an engagement mid as well. So if my team gets kind of gone on, I have to kind of follow into him. I'm kind of a little bit wary of going too much into the base. I'm kind of trying to play ranged form and not play too deep into them. I see that Snapfire gets like really low, and I see obviously lifesteal comes up to me, but I'm just going to focus on the Magnus. Kind of maybe a poor positioning. I'm not getting the Snapfire with my whirling axes here. Again, 2 buybacks, so we just kind of need to respect him a little bit. Obviously, we're really far up, but we don't want to be throwing this game. But yeah, I'm level 24, lifesteal level 16, and you know, this is just the strength of lifesteal. I have Vlad's Aura now, I have Paladin Sword, I have Morbid Moss, I have so much lifesteal that there's no way they can kill me. And if they try and go on my team with my Basher and ulti, they can't do anything really. Again, the Heaven's Help was a little bit annoying, but it's enough to secure the kill on the Slardor, and basically that's kind of the game, really. A few things I haven't really talked about in terms of talents. So I'm talking about them here as the game's kind of over. So level 10 is kind of almost always 10 agility. As for level 15, it's really interesting, really, because I've seen Arteezy go for the whirling axis damage, but I think in games like that, when he does go the whirling axis damage, is that you need to also go the level 25 whirling axis cooldown. But in this game, I mean, obviously the game's already over, but in this game, I wanted to go Battle Trance Strong Dispels because I can get out of RP. So if he RPs me, I can instantly just ulti. He's on top of me, and I can get out of his stun and instantly just kill him straight after. So because of that, I'm going to go max further stacks. But not only that, but the max further stacks is just really nice. I mean, if you think about it, max level attack speed +3, that's 90 attack speed. And when you're pushing towers or taking Roche, or if you do get a chance to sort of stick on someone on top of someone, you do get to 15 stacks quite quickly as well. So I prefer the max further stacks, particularly if you're going to go the Battle Trance Strong Dispels, but I do see the benefit in going the 90 Whirling Axe damage. Like getting that level 15, that's like nearly 300 damage on a 9-second cooldown, and when you get level 25, that's on a 3-second cooldown. On you know, and even in this game, it can be good as well because there's 3 melee cores that BKBs are going to run out, so I will get a lot of benefit from the 6 whirling or the 3-second whirling axes damage. But in this game, like, I just wanted to be kind of hitting towers, being the tower destroyer basically, so I ended up going for that. As for the level 20, I think 40 damage is just too much value, really. Like, so much damage. I don't know if you really need the evasion either. You have so much lifesteal that all the damage you do take, you can kind of get it back. And having the plus 40 damage is just really nice. So that's kind of about it, guys. So guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just going to briefly talk about items as well. So you saw me have Battle Fury, SMY, Sanic, Basher. If you can get like a Abyssal Blade, the hero, that's so good because you can Abyssal Blade onto someone and then just ult them. As for neutral items, I briefly mentioned it in the video as well, but I think for tier 1, like any of the items are pretty good, really. Obviously, the broom handle is quite nice, high damage, a bit of armor. Poor man's shield is useful as well because you don't take a lot of damage when you're hitting neutrals. Ironwood branch, royal jelly is quite useful as well because you do use quite a bit of mana. Although having the ring of Vassie kind of helps that. As for tier 2, I think the 2 probably best items are either Vampire Fangs or Imp Claw. The Vampire Fangs are really useful because you kind of want that lifesteal. It allows you to do Roche before having lifesteal or Vlads from one of your team, and obviously you can spell lifesteal from your whirling axes as well, which is useful. As for Imp Claw, you kind of really like having that crit and that damage as well. I mean, we've seen recently how useful going kind of rushing Chrysalis is on like heroes like Void Spirit because of the item's so good now, and the Imp Claw is kind of useful for that respect. As for sort of tier 3, Paladin Sword is without doubt the best. Orb Destruction can be useful, and so can Titan Sliver. Again, more of that status resistance, kind of any kind of way of the negative armor from Orb Destruction. But Paladin Sword, I think for me personally, I think is probably the best item. I think it's even better than a lot of the tier 4, probably every tier 4 item actually on Warlord. And as for tier 5, I've never gotten there. But if you get there, tell me, because I've never even seen these items before. Really, either the games are kind of won or lost by them. But That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please do subscribe and like the video. Every little bit helps. It's a small little click, and it really does make a difference, guys. So really like it. Also, I'm doing coaching sessions as well. If you want to do one-to-one coaching session, I've got quite a few people that like it, that do it. And there's a link down below the video if you're interested in that. But other than that, guys, follow me on socials, and I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.
These blades are too dry.